you just tell me who you are, where you based, and what kind of businesses are you involved in?
All right, so basically my name is William Wu and I am based in Johannesburg, more specifically the Four Ways area in Dayton. And I currently run two businesses, one being a digital marketing agency, where I help coaching and e-commerce clients bring in a steady and reliable influx of customers weekly through the power of Facebook ads, and the other being a property business where I do student accommodation for students all around South Africa, more specifically in the Braamfontein area and also in Hatfield of Pretoria.
Nice. How has it been to run, property business and at the same time running your digital agents in terms of getting leads for clients? How has it been for your businesses, for these two businesses in terms of growing them, and how long you've been doing them?
For both of them, they've been relatively new. It's been, I would say, 8 months. In terms of finding clients and leads, it's all up to you and yourself, because one thing you're going to discover in entrepreneurship is that just because you built it, people won't come. People aren't going to come. You need to know how to market and sell your services, because you could be the best investor, you could be the best agency owner, the best Facebook specialist, but if you don't know how to market and place yourself and your services, it's not going to help at all. So you need to go out there, you need to do some outreach to clients, you need to be doing cold calls, you need to be doing cold emails, cold messaging, cold looms, stuff like that. You need to, in the beginning, just like what I love what you're doing, is you need to create content, which is something that I'm going to be starting myself, giving value to people. So first serve them, giving them value for them to just come in, trust you, and also get value and insights and tips that they can actually implement into their own business that can actually help them. And then from there on, if they see that, hey, this is taking a bit too much of my time, I could better use this time to actually focus on my business, I could come in, step in and help you do it.
Well, what has been the success of those businesses? Because I know it's not easy, man, to run a business, as an entrepreneur myself. People that look at you, they think, oh, wow, it just depends as well, the kind of an entrepreneur, because there's a misconception that entrepreneurship, you have to be driving nice cars, you have to be doing this, and it's the opposite.
Opposite. And that's the thing. Also, most people, they need to know that, hey, just because you're an entrepreneur doesn't mean that everyone else is.
Yeah.
So you need to know that, hey, I'm interested in starting my own business, building my own economy, because me personally as a person, I'd like to know that I have my own economy around me that contains multiple income streams. So if anything happens, like the coronavirus, or this happens, or that happens, the market crashes, it doesn't affect me because I have confidence in my ability to generate income. But yeah, when it comes to the external things that people look at when it comes to entrepreneurship, it's not very important. And it's something that every entrepreneur needs to know that, hey, you shouldn't base your value, your personal value, on the results that you achieve. Yes, the end result should be whatever these things, these tangible, whatever it is, a Mercedes or whatever it may be. But what you should actually be focusing on is the systems and processes that you put into place every single day, the routines, the this, the that, and you should base your value and sort of just rate yourself based on the things that you put into place and that you actually practice, instead of the result of it. Because I mean, you can be, as much as you can be prepared, as much as you can do this, you can do that. I personally believe that in the end, it still comes down to a little bit of luck and the right circumstances. So instead of just basing all your self-worth on the results that you produce, rather base your self-worth on the things that you do every single day in order to produce those results. So as a system or process, you could have, let's say in my space, a digital marketing agency, I need to do X amount of cold calls, X amount of outreach, emails, messages. See, I'll base my performance and my current self-worth on if I'm actually achieving those numbers, if I'm actually sending that amount of emails. doing that amount of cold calls, rather than the amount of clients that I've actually signed.
True. Yeah. And then now, in terms of these difficult moments, like where we are, you mentioned that you are in the property business, you are also in the digital marketing, right? So as a digital marketer, it comes a time where in this current crisis where you don't want to be selling too much, you need to kind of like show empathy and then sell. It's kind of like give, jab, and then hook,
Yes.
What are some of the strategies that you've been implementing to making sure that your business strives properly in this kind of situation? And furthermore, you also touched on different streams of income, which I think it's a high time that as entrepreneurs, we start encouraging that different streams of income is actually good, but you need to look at different streams of income that you're not governed by the internal or the external environment, whether it's political issues or business internal issues, but that side hustle that you have as an entrepreneur still brings in income. What are some of the strategies that you've been implementing that maybe you can give tips and for people out there? Because a lot of guys that I know, they don't know where their next income is coming, as much as there's been things that the government has put in place. One, they're too slow. By the time it gets to them, their businesses will be shut down. Most businesses in the next 21 days, or if they increase the next 21 days, a lot of small businesses are going to shut down. We don't have to lie about it. It's the fact. And you touched on different strategies, putting systems that they are not affected by the external environment that might be out there,
Okay. Would you like some tips on which side of the business? The digital marketing agency or the property business?
Yeah, because as a digital agency, there's some things that your business is still actually striving. It's actually the right time now for it to strive. You might find that on the property, there's certain things that you're putting in place so that for that person maybe who's into digital marketing or who's into property, they can learn as well from.
Okay, so in terms of the digital marketing agency, I pride myself in choosing a sort of clientele that really doesn't depend on the current situations, because my clientele is basically e-commerce businesses and also coaching clients. So I specifically focus on coaching clients because I really do believe in the belief of self-education and not needing to go through the traditional education in order to have a skill set or a certain thing to fix a certain problem in your life. So with that, strategies that I implement, not really strategies, but things that I take advantage of at this current moment, is the average low ad spend on Facebook, because that's what I deal with mostly. Because now with everything closing down, businesses, they're starting to realize that, hey, we didn't build processes to actually handle online stuff, or everything had to be physical. So with that being said, they took down all of their ads, and now in the marketing space, in the Facebook ad community, the marketplace, there's less competition, and with less competition, it's less ad spend, it's less CPM, it's less money per thousand impressions, because some people may have the misconception when it comes to Facebook ads that, hey, Facebook controls how much it will cost, how much this. That's not the case. Facebook is just a marketplace. It really does depend on supply and demand. If there's not a lot of supply, then there's going to be a little bit of amount of money. And the strategies that I actually use for my clients, because how I personally get clients myself is through the traditional ways of doing cold call messaging and stuff like that. But that's because I'm in the service business where I do B2B, which is business to business. So whatever they're paying me, it's a business expense. It's not business to a customer. Whereas when I'm dealing with their own campaigns, it's going to be a B2C. So they're selling directly to the customer. And with that, it depends on whether or not it's a e-commerce business or a coach that's selling coaching services or an online course or any type of consulting. When it comes to a coach, what I would normally do is to implement something that I like to call an omnipresence strategy, where I have them shoot a lot of videos that provide value to their dream customer, their potential client. Have them have all these videos linked to one funnel page that takes them through steps that eventually gets them to buy, to first opt in with their email, and then to buy the product at the end, whether it be a course or coaching. And when it comes to e-commerce, it's more directing all the ads straight to the landing page, the selling page. So no one page to explain what the thing is. And when it comes to e-commerce, it's normally when I'm dealing with products that's less than $100. So around about less than 1,500 Rand, because that's less of an impulse buy. That's more of an impulse buy that you can just go straight into it, buy for 1,500 and below. You're not going to think about it too much. Whereas when it comes to something like coaching services, it's going to be more or less $2,000 to $3,000. So that's in a different ballpark. So people need to consult with their husbands or wives. And that's why we have funnel steps. And that's why the ad will take them directly to funnel steps instead of the checkout page. So that's what I do when it comes to digital marketing, my strategy at this point. When it comes to property, well, right now, there's not a lot to do when it comes to actually finding tenants, because the way I run my property business is going to be on a buy to rent. So basically all the money I'm making is through monthly rental. So it's not through flipping a house or anything. So it's not a large lump sum of money, but rather a stable amount of cash flow every single month. So obviously during this time, we're not allowed to actually no one's going to come view our places or my apartments or my houses and stuff like that. So we need to be interested in actually getting new places. So that's why during this time of coronavirus, we're going to be implementing marketing strategies of how to actually get property below the market value, because that's what you want. Because personally, the number one rule for me when it comes to property is that I make money when I buy. So what I mean by that is I buy below property market value,
Yeah.
So automatically I'm already in the surplus. I'm already in the green. And during this time, unfortunately, people are going through turmoil. If this coronavirus lockdown, if it extends more than 21 days, people are going to go into trouble. They're going to fail to pay their mortgage or do this or do that. And most of them, they might want to actually migrate to a country. And for me, myself, when it comes to property, I position myself as a property solution provider. So I really want to provide solutions to both the people that I'm buying from and the people that I'm selling to. So with students, they really do need a place to stay, because I really do empathize with them, because when it comes to student accommodation, in some places, it's very difficult to find accommodation. Take for instance, because I'm based here in Johannesburg, I only moved here around about 3 months ago. I'm originally from Limpopo in Polokwane, and yeah. And then from there, our main one is University of Limpopo. So from there, I went in, I saw the stats. They have currently around about 21,000 students enrolled, but on campus, they can only facilitate around about 7,000 people. And off-campus accommodation is going to be only, I think it was 3,500 beds to stay. So what's going to happen to the rest of the 12,000 people that's there? So yeah, there's a need for it, and there's a huge demand. And when it comes to the people that I'm buying from, they really are in a situation where they really need to sell. That's where I like to come in. I don't want to come in to a seller where they want to sell. I need to come in where they need to sell in order for them to be a motivated seller, so I can actually talk down the value. Because hey, I'm not trying to take advantage of the current situation. I'm just trying to provide a solution to you with the best. I give you what you need, not what you want. That's what I'm trying to say. So during this time, coronavirus, nothing's going on. These people are not getting anyone to come see their house, view their house. They're getting no offers to purchase. So that's where I come in. I talk to them. I find out what their circumstances are. And then I play the long game. I wait for them. And then afterwards, I submit my offer to purchase at a low price and see if they're willing to accept it, but obviously have it be able to fulfill what they need. So let's say they still have a mortgage to pay off. I need to at least fulfill the amount that they owe to the bank. So that's where also due diligence comes into a big play. Yeah, so that's the strategies that I use currently.
I love what you said. You mentioned long game. As an entrepreneur, how important it is to, when you going into business, realizing that business is not a quick box. It's a long game. Like in some of the businesses that I'm involved in, I always tell my team that it's a long game. We are not in this to make quick bucks. We are in this for long game. There's one business that I'm involved in. It's called All Day TV. It's a content creation. It's a content creation media company. So we just create content for social media. Our own content told by us how we want to do it. We've been investing in that business close to 4 years. We haven't made any single cent. We've been creating shows. At some stage, I used to travel overseas frequently to try and push shows. So now we decided to the past 3 years, we decided to just focus mainly on digital, create content for digital. So there's a whole payroll of about people that are focused on it, but we haven't made profit. But the nice thing is that it's growing. The bank sheet might not be that great at this stage, but with the amount of reach that we're doing, we'll easily surpass those drafts, into those overdrafts, those bad times that we had when we were starting that business. So as an entrepreneur, how important it is for entrepreneurs to understand that entrepreneurship, it's a long game. Yes, I'm not saying people mustn't get paid and do things for free, and then they starve, they're not able to sustain their lifestyle, which is not the objective. But I mean, in terms of starting a business and realizing, just have patience, give it its time for it to grow. How important it is as an entrepreneur to play the long game.
Yeah, very important, very important. And if there's one tip that I need to give to all entrepreneurs out there, for them to know in the beginning, no matter what business you're in, whether it's stocks or this, or creating your own digital marketing agency, property business, drop shipping, whatever it may be, it all comes down to psychology. More than actual mechanics and the how-tos, because people, they think they need to know how to do something. They need to know this, they need to have these tools, they need to have certain things. But I can promise you that once you get them, you're still going to be stuck because of your current mental state. So my one tip that really has impacted me and my life, and what I want to impact into others' lives, is just to have them realize that, hey, it all comes down to psychology. Because in 99% of cases, or okay, let me just bring it down a little bit, 95% of cases, whenever you have a problem, it's more of a personal problem rather than a business problem. So if you're having troubles with your employees in your company or your business, it might be because you're not that good of a leader yourself. So it's for whatever you do, it's the result of what you've already put in. So realizing that, hey, especially during this time, just to take some time to figure out who you are personally, especially during lockdown, because we have nothing to do. Or unlike if you're not me, if you don't run a digital marketing agency, you don't have anything to do. Take this time to actually realize what you're passionate about, how that could actually provide to the community and our overall society, and have a reason behind it. You need to have a really good reason, a good why, a good purpose to why you want to achieve your vision, what you put into place, and what you want in life. Because reasons come first and then answers come second. Yeah. So if you do realize, continue. Sorry.
Go. Sorry. Yeah.
And then from there, when you eventually find yourself to know who you are, what you want, why you want it, you also need to check your beliefs that you currently have. in your mind. So if you have the belief that, hey, if you make a lot of money, you're going to be an evil person, you're going to be selfish, you're going to be this, you're not going to achieve money, because your own subconscious beliefs and the labels that you impose on yourself is going to restrict you from doing what you want. So you need to check yourself and see what your beliefs are in this world. So instead of thinking of money as scarcity or something that's being rare and that you need to dig and beg people for, rather think of it that it's in abundance, that money is everywhere, that you don't need to work hard or put so much. I wouldn't say you don't need to work hard, but you don't have to work your ass off, rather than finding another way to accomplish the same thing, but just doing it a little bit more smarter, if you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So that's my first and second tip is, number one, realize that 80% of success, psychology, and then number two, going in, finding out what your beliefs are currently, and if there are some limiting beliefs, changing them.
You know, when you're talking about digital, I remember I was giving one of the talks on my YouTube channel. I said it's high time, before this whole thing blew, you know. Actually, last year I did a talk about people should start cutting down on their savings, on their spending, because, you know, there's gonna be, the economy is gonna go down, you know, and 5 out of 36 subscribers barely didn't check that video. That was around September. And then in January, I also spoke about the digital economy, that people need to participate in the digital economy. Guess what? No one listened, you know? And earlier on, you kind of like spoke about drop shipping, you know? Drop shipping, you know? Those is some, like, when I'm talking about digital economy, there's so much money to be made on the digital. Like, it's not even funny. You don't need a degree, or you need to be exposed, obvious, about these things. But tell me a bit about drop shipping, man. It's something new, definitely. In maybe some people, they don't know it, but it's been happening. Other digital economies that people, they can unlock, you know, that people they can unlock, so that they can, you know, they can have better life. Sorry, I need to mute this. They can have better life, or they can check it out. Because when someone is thinking about business, they think, oh God, I need stuff, I need premises, I need this, I need that. I'm actually going through a transition where I'm realizing that small is big. You know, our other company, Voo C Media Group, it's just 10 people. I'm actually realizing, I'm like, damn, small is actually big at this time, because we can maneuver, we can do so much, we can listen to what our clients want, and we can adapt quickly. Whereas if it's big, there's still that hierarchy, there's still this, there's still that, there's still that. And I'm like, wow, I actually thank God that we are small, because in times like this, we can act quickly. We don't have to wait for all of this protocol. You know, my team, they're fully vested in this thing. I mean, with this thing, with the 21 days lockdown, we had to adapt 4 days working from home. After that, our clients, they're sorted. The shows are playing. Yeah. Because as a leader, I always foresee what's going to happen. On our other business that I'm involved with my wife, in December, we couldn't do import and export a lot because of this. Because most of our stuff, we take it from China. So I saw this Corona thing happening from December. We couldn't do it, you know? And that made me to move 3 months ahead in all of my businesses, because I knew what was happening. I mean, that business already, we started being affected from December, because we couldn't move anything. So I implemented a short strategy on our other business. I'm like, guys, we gotta move. But as well, I started doing more research. I realized, no, man, this digital economy, I've known about it for years, but I started really kind of like unraveling it. What's what? And, what are some of the nuggets that you can let people be aware of the digital economy? Because there's now in the digital economy, it changes a
Well, now,
okay.
I mean, there are reports going out that say, hey, by the year 2030, all shopping malls in America are just going to be closing down because everyone's just doing their shopping on Amazon or online. So I'm not personally interested in the business model of dropshipping because it depends on so many things, and things could be shut down like now if any sort of pandemic happens again. But hey, when it comes to the things that I'm specialized in, especially in coaching, because my ultimate dream from being an educator, like my purpose in life, what I believe is to become an entrepreneur and then eventually teach people how to do it themselves. So I want to be an educator, someone that actually impacts people, and not only entrepreneurs, but impacts everyone, how they can achieve what I like to call an uncompromised life. So through that, if I'm going to be doing what I'm teaching, which is uncompromised life, it's going to be through digital. Just to give you a little bit of few insights about digital and the e-learning sort of platform. Currently, it's a $350 million industry per day. $350 million every single day, going in and out, in and out. By the year 2025, it's going to be estimated to be $1 billion every single day.
So when you're saying e-learning, are we talking about some sort of master classes? Are we talking about creating
courses? Yes. Masterminds, master classes, anything that you can think of where you're learning through digital. It's going to be a $1 billion industry by the year of 2025. So I don't know if about you, but a lot of people, they're realizing now that, hey, normal education, the traditional way of education, spending 4 years, or in our case in South Africa, 3 years to get a bachelor's degree, it really doesn't do anything. It can't help you land a job, unfortunately, in the economy. And if it does land you a job, it's going to be mild paid, which is going to be around about 15,000 to 25,000 Rand per month. Yes, it sounds nice, but if you really look at it, it doesn't pay for a lot of things, especially if you have a lot of expectations in life. So in terms of the coaching side, it's a $350 million industry per day, and it's estimated to be a $1 billion industry every single day by the year of 2025. And I really want to jump in that bandwagon. Look, to be honest, money is everywhere.
Yeah.
Money is everywhere, whether it's digital, whether it's this, whether it's that. It's just that digital is one of the most effective, one of the most tangible, trackable means of getting there, of getting money.
Yeah.
You know exactly where it's coming from, and all the components to it.
And as well, you don't have to, like you said earlier on, you don't have to sweat too much, whereas with the other traditional of business, you have to be putting in 20 hours every day, Monday to Sunday. Whereas with, I remember one guy that changed my life, kind of like changed the way how I do business. So Vusumuzi Ndhlovu was one of our clients 2 years back. We were doing his social media content,
Okay.
And then I went to him, I was like, bro, I'm trying to, yes, I'm involved in this kind of business, but this main business, Voo C Media Group, and we always have to pitch to broadcasters, all of these guys. He's like, yeah, because it's a service business, but what you must do, you must create a product. I was like, what you mean create a product? So from there, that's when our sister company, All Day, I started putting in all my work in All Day. I started realizing myself, not just as another entrepreneur, as an entrepreneur who really wants to add value meet people like-minded, collaborate like what we're doing right now. I mean, I didn't know you. We linked up on LinkedIn. I was like, yo, bro, let's jump onto it. Let's add value, you know? I was like, you know what? Once I get into a stage, I can then start doing this books review. I can write a book. I can do so much. I can sell it on digital. I can be home. I mean, I'm actually in my garage. I can be home, still making so much money as a business, you know, but using my personal brand. That's the power that digital economy allows. You can't blame anyone. It's up to you, you know?